tonight. And begin with the Los Angeles Lakers with Derek Fisher and Eddie Jones in the backcourt. Robert Horry, Shaquille O'Neal, and Rick Fox on the front line. For the Seattle Supersonics, Hawkins and Payton have been the key getting out of the Minnesota series, and in game one here with Baker, McIlvain, who was wonderful in that first game a couple nights ago against Los Angeles, and Detlef Schrempf. So Ben Baker, who is 65 pounds less than Shaquille O'Neal, and we are underway here in game 2 in Seattle.
They must attack with the basketball. The Lakers create some easy opportunities for Shaquille O'Neal.
Robert Horry feeds inside. O'Neal is there, and a quick dunk over McIlvain. Switch from game 1.
Yeah, McIlvain only played a very short period of time, played 15 minutes, had 2 blocks, and did a good job keeping Shaquille away from the paint. If Shaquille's in the paint, there's not much you can do.
Eddie Jones picks up Payton. Quick cross-court pass to Hawkins. Horry is there, screened by Schrempf. Inside to McIlvain, and knocked away as he was posting up on the point guard, Derek Fisher.
Well, they had a switch, and McIlvain, who did not play, but only played 7 minutes in the first series against Minnesota, was very good for Minnesota, for the Sonics against the Lakers.
A lot of time for Hawkins. McIlvain had a hand on it. Payton comes up with it, and they find Baker inside. Good pass to McIlvain. Jones comes out of the fray. It's a 2-on-2. Fox with the trailing O'Neal. Jones to the rack and a foul.
That's Eddie Jones at his best. He's got to get semi-secondary breaks, semi-break opportunities, and push it to the basket. Eddie Jones shows his quickness, a little change of tempo right there, and not much Ben Baker can do but reach. Eddie Jones almost makes a terrific shot over the top of his head, gets fouled, 2 foul shots.
So Baker draws the foul, and here's Eddie Jones. And Quinn, he was the talk of some possible trade rumors earlier in the year.
Well, he was, and the rumor, the person they were going to get is a pretty good player, if you will. They were looking at getting Mitch Richmond, and that deal didn't work out. In Mitch Richmond, you have a low post scorer, a perimeter scorer, not nearly as good a defender. The deal was not made. Sometimes they say those are the best, but that's yet to be seen.
Well, some inside the organization still wanted to make it, and the owner, Jerry Buss, said, you're going to stay here. You're a crowd favorite. We're going to keep you in our family, and that's a story for later in this game. Here's Baker with a nice spinning shot inside the lane.
He's got to take it at Shaquille, where he makes Shaquille move his feet. That shot, if he gets it, I think Shaquille will let him take. He'll find Baker able to make that.
Lakers on top by 2. Jones to Horry to Fisher. O'Neal inside, working on now a double team, and flips his way out of that. Fox for 3. Rebound inside by Hawkins.
Those are the shots they were missing in game 1. They've got to knock some down.
Schrempf, first time he's touched the ball tonight, working on Fox. Mismatch in favor of Schrempf, although Fox knocks it away, and it's out of bounds, and it's off of Seattle.
Got to be able to get some points from the inside. The perimeter was solid. We talked about Hawkins early and Payton right here. Ben Baker knocking down the little jump shot. Maybe he gets some rhythm early. Talking to George Powell, those 2 guys they're going to get into rhythm. Detlef Schrempf and Ben Baker. Oh, you better get up. You're about to get dunked on.
O'Neal with his second dunk tonight, and the Lakers on top by 4.
Penetration. And McIlvain came to help out. On that one, you may have to make a decision not to leave Shaquille and let somebody else come help out.
2 minutes gone. First outside shot by Payton. A loose ball foul called inside. This is against Rick Fox.
Yeah, Fox pushed Detlef Schrempf as he had a chance to get the long rebound. Those pinstripes on George.
I like it. He's hot tonight, and Payton working inside, looking like a pinball, bouncing off bodies. And if we go black tonight, folks, we're going to put that suit up on your screen to get our bars back. He's had great success, coached in Spain, and came midway through the 1991 season here. And he's turned things around dramatically.
This is a matchup where Detlef is better off posting up because Eddie Jones can play him off the dribble.
Good point. Payton for 3. Well, he was hitting that shot the other night. McIlvain goes tumbling into photographer's row. Gets up. No the worse, and here comes Los Angeles the other way with 9.5 to play in the first quarter. Athletic catch by Jones, saves it and threw it away off balance. Picked up by Schrempf.
Great hands by Horry.
Knocked away, picked up by Fisher. Here comes Los Angeles. I think Fisher the other way into Jones. Knocked away by McIlvain. O'Neal with the hook. Rebound inside. Buckler and claimed by Schrempf.
Battling on the boards. That's where it's won. Defense on the board. Great pass.
McIlvain brings Seattle to within 2. The other way, Robert Horry. O'Neal. McIlvain with the rebound. Kicks it out to Payton. Payton works into Fisher. Baker's on the side, and Baker will get the ball. Seattle has not hit a three-point shot tonight after hitting 11 in game 1. It's Payton doubled. Through traffic to Hawkins, and the shot clock at 6. Crossover move. Hawkins slithering inside.
That is a big-time move there by Hersey Hawkins. Normally a jump shooter. In the air, moved it a little bit, falls down, knocks it in.
We're tied at 6. Jones to O'Neal, held and shoved by McIlvain. That's the first on McIlvain. Hawkins with a sweet move at the other end.
Well, it's a good find right here. Got McIlvain with a big man. All you want to do is get it to him where he can catch it and make it. Hawk here jumps away from the shot blocking Horry. Had a little bit of English on there. Nice little touch to knock that one down.
Jones bullets it inside for O'Neal. It ends up for Fox with 3. Rebound, Robert Horry inside. He fights for it. It's still loose. And finally out of the fray, Gary Payton. They've got numbers the other way. Payton to Baker.
Oh, I thought that was good. And so does Robert Horry. If this ball is still going up, if he puts it up there, it doesn't hit the glass first. He puts it up there. Oh, that was tough. A lot of action, but the Lakers are playing with so much more energy today, Kevin, than they did in game 1.
They've got to.
Yeah, they need to make a good showing here. They just want to steal one game.
Fisher into O'Neal, again triple teamed, and he bulldozes his way inside. Shaquille O'Neal with 6 of Los Angeles' 8 points.
Gets through a double, triple team, as a matter of fact, with just strength.
Again, Kobe Bryant in the locker room, getting fluids, a severe bout with the flu. It's Payton inside the land of the Giants into McIlvain.
Got to finish that one.
Baker, look at him fly.
Shaquille had started to move out, and Baker started back in the action, but McIlvain can be of better value if he finishes those plays.
McIlvain from behind picks up another foul. That's number 2 as he tries to put the shackles on Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal is hot. He's out of the box with 6 points. The Sonics lead by 2, 10-8. And the Hornets tonight in obviously the biggest story of the playoffs so far, upsetting Chicago. Ironically enough, game 2 last year, second round, it was Chicago losing to Atlanta in game 2.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty special situation. You know, Bulls don't lose a lot at home, but Charlotte got there. B.J. Armstrong off the bench, huge, 21 points against his former team, which he won a championship against the Chicago Bulls. So a big night for B.J. and the Charlotte Hornets.
And at halftime, they'll update with interviews and highlights of that stunning win by the Charlotte Hornets tonight, evening up that series now at a game apiece. They move to Charlotte on Friday. Here, 10-10 with a couple free throws. We're tied. 6:40 to play in the first quarter. Payton down the lane. Shaquille got a hand on it, and Fisher triggers it the other way. Fisher outracing McIlvain. Picked up by Shrimp.
That's a missed call by McIlvain. Shaq clearly showing his ability to get to the basket on the one prior to that.
Baker doubled. And will show some patience and fire over O'Neal. Rebound by Robert Horry.
Well, it looked like he showed patience, but he never got the ball fully gripped in his hand.
Eddie Jones. Oh, Eddie Jones right on Cowboy down the baseline.
This is a different Eddie Jones than game 1. I mean, he's looking like he wants to get himself to the basket quickly. Did not see it in game 1 at all.
12-10, Lakers by 2. Here comes Payton. He takes it on the baseline with a wonderful penetrating drive of his own.
Eddie Jones was looking for help from the baseline, but the Sonics on the backside had cleared it out, so nobody could come over to help him.
Tied at 12.
Lakers doing everything they can to try to establish it early. See, the problem is now if they want to go Shaq, they can't go in and out.
Horry for 2, in and out, and the rebound pulled down by Detlef Schrempf, who already has grabbed 4 rebounds in this game. A lot different than the other. For McIlvain, what a great pass by Vin Baker.
Some growth in Vin Baker. Has not seen a lot of double teams till a Minnesota series and didn't handle it well. That time he finished it off on a lob.
O'Neal twisting and turning. Rebound, fought for and claimed inside by Baker. Inadvertently tripped by O'Neal, who's going to draw the foul.
If you get double teamed, there's got to be an open man. Vin Baker has gotten double teamed a lot more in the last 2 weeks than he has in a long time. Here, he finds Jim McIlvain going to the basket where you should be. If your man leaves you, you go to the hoop. That time he got to finish.
McIlvain the other night had a very steady hand early in the game, set the tempo. Tonight, 4 points and 2 blocks. He's looked great. Perkins takes his place. Van Exel is in for Los Angeles. And here's Perkins down low to Baker. Shot clock showing 6. And he jousts with O'Neal. Perkins for 3. Come on!
Oh, boy, is that a 3. So much so Del Harris has got to take a 20-second timeout. Get everybody to bring their A game, and you always get an X factor. Jerome Kersey having been that. If you take a look, is Bill Gates.
And next to the governor of the great state of Washington.
For those of you who don't know who Bill Gates is, Microsoft's Bill Gates.
In fact, Gates may own the state of Washington. Gary Locke, the governor of Washington, with us tonight, along with Gates. And thousands of others. Over 17,000 inside Key Arena. Ellis for 2. Rebound by Fox. It's 22-17. The Lakers have gotten 2 scores all night. O'Neal and Jones. Van Exel with the miss. Van Exel tried to feed inside to Corey Blount, and it ricochets off his phone.
Nick tried to do a little too much there. Corey Blount was didn't know anybody was going to get to the ball. Look at Nick. Gary just takes the ball coast to coast and hardly anybody get to him.
Payton trying to sneak in. Fox has the ball. Here comes Van Exel trying to wiggle and dumps it. Blount drops it again.
Kersey on the floor for the grab.
First time he's been in tonight and exuding the same kind of energy he did in game 1. Here comes Payton. And a foul called inside, and Corey Blount picks it up.
You have to have effort plays. Nick Van Exel tries to get to Corey Blount, who just mishandles the ball, and Kersey goes on the floor. Every possession is important in the playoffs. Jerome Kersey again showing his importance in 23 minutes. 5 of 7 in game 1.
Derek Fisher comes in. He replaces Eddie Jones. No Kobe Bryant tonight, at least so far, battling the flu.
He can't be very strong. If you're losing fluids all night, to replenish them, those fluids, you're still not going to be strong enough really to be effective unless something very unusual happens.
Shrimp trying to toss it up. Rebound by Eldon Campbell. O'Neal is on the bench for a rest, and he was great in the opening minutes of the game.
You got to get Eldon Campbell a shot. Campbell's got to get a shot.
Campbell. Rebound fought for inside and claimed by who else? Jerome Kersey.
He's going to post him. He's going to post him. Well, if he hadn't picked up his dribble, he's got Sam Perkins, who's made 2 3-pointers. Campbell's got a tough time coming off of it.
Wow, what a move by Payton.
The GP has size and quickness and does a good job using his body. Probably their second best, if not their best post-up player is Gary Payton.
This ties the biggest lead for Seattle in this first quarter, 24-17. It's Van Exel driving on.
Whoa!
What a move by Van Exel!
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen anybody get crisscross like that in a long time. Del Ellis was just lost there.
2 points. He becomes the 3rd Laker to score tonight, in addition to Jones and O'Neal.
Take one shot here, there's like a 6-second difference.
And Payton will try to work the clock, which is now showing 7. Kersey rejected by Campbell and knocked out of bounds off Los Angeles.
You know that Nick is going to do his thing, but Gary Payton is very good on the post. What he did was knock the hand off of Derek Fisher, who was trying to post defend. And when you knock the hand off, you knock the player off balance. That's why Gary got to the basket so easily.
Shot clock at 3. Sliding inside Perkins.
They just call a loose ball foul on Eldon Campbell, too, because he decked Jerome Kersey. I mean, first you got Sam posted up. He's made 2 threes. He posted up with Shaquille looking on. And in the tussle, Kersey and Eldon Campbell hooked up. And you just take a look. See them tussling in there. Kersey tries to move. There is a slam. Kersey really gets his leg over the top of Eldon Campbell. That's what caused him to go down. I don't think there's anything malicious in that.
Bring in Greg Anthony, who had a horrible night shooting the other night, but brought some great energy to the floor. Ellis will take a seat. Kersey is in there with Perkins, the aforementioned Anthony. Nate McMillan is in the game, and Gary Payton. McMillan didn't play in game one.
No, he didn't play in game one. Anthony's in for Ellis because they have two small guards. They have Fisher and Nick at the same time.
Terrific close from Nick Van Exel, and that's the way the first quarter comes to the close. Vin Baker. And 8 points, and Seattle picks up where they left off. We go to the second quarter. And there's a view of Jerome Kersey, who is right where he was game one. Same intensity, same moxie. And look at the changes when he gets to the playoffs. He's a different kind of player.
He is a positive plus player, if you will. You look at those numbers. His numbers are up as well. He also, in game one, in addition to being out and having 12 points, he had 3 blocks in that game, showing you he makes a lot of effort plays. We
begin the second quarter with Dale Ellis firing and missing. Rebound yanked down by Campbell. It goes to Fisher, and here comes Van Exel. Payton will pick him up. Neal is back in the game along with Robert Horry. Van Exel feeds inside. Horry has it. Shot clock at 7. Van Exel for 3. Rebound. Campbell.
Well, they've got some mismatches that they can go to. They've got Horry on being guarded by Nate McMillan. McMillan is pretty good, but inside, Sam Perkins guarding Shaquille O'Neal. They've got to go double that. Reset as Dale Ellis kicks that ball.
24 seconds on the shot clock. O'Neal is in the game, and Shaq early on with 10 points.
Well, they also have another one, Kevin. Eldon Campbell had a good game in game one. He's being guarded by Jerome Kersey. Wondering if he'll go to that. Will Derek Fisher take a look at that matchup? That's where they go right now. Well, they went to the other side. It was all a fake.
Van Exel into O'Neal. Outside to Horry. In the corner again. Van Exel for 3. This time he connects.
Yeah, Van Exel had a chance to set up and look that time. Good pass by Horry.
And the Lakers to within 4. Payton again takes it. Perkins on top there, jousting with O'Neal. And here comes Payton. Fighting through traffic and scooping it up and in for 2.
Good pick and roll with Sam Perkins and Shaquille O'Neal, because you're forcing Shaquille to have to make a decision. Do I leave the 3-point shooting Perkins, or do I help on Gary Payton going to the layup?
Payton coming off a 25-point game, has 6 so far. Campbell with the cross court to Horry, the touch pass, Van Exel, and back to Eldon Campbell. A nice pirouette inside. He comes up with a nice lane.
He got away with the travel, but the dribble penetration is there. He's also now with a basket, has 4 rebounds and 2 blocks already, has Campbell.
Campbell's come off the bench, energized the team. Lakers climb to within 4 after being down by 7. It's Payton with a nice screen for Perkins. Rebound by a high-flying Derek Fisher. And Fisher the other way, colliding into both Payton and Kersey, and down go both. Fisher, though, maybe just a bit phased. It's a battlefield, not a court. It's a battlefield. Johnson. All the scores, all the highlights, and all the inside scoop on Chicago's loss tonight. With Cheryl Miller and Quinn Buckner, Kevin Harlan from Seattle. We're early in the second quarter, where the Sonics are on top by 4. Here's Fisher into Shaquille, lunging for 2, picked up by Horry. Outside Van Exel, shot clock at 4. Fisher from 2. Rebound inside, fought for, claimed by Horry.
Good pass
Into Shaq.
Good pass by Horry. He just lobbed it over the top. Shaquille got so deep the first time, he basically blocked the shot himself by putting it under the basket. It didn't even touch the rim. No shot clock.
Nate McMillan, who will retire after these playoffs. A guy who played his entire career with Seattle. Off to Ellis, off to Kersey with the screen by Ellis.
Well, they're trying to get Ellis involved in the game offensively. Talking to George Karl, that's what he wants to do. That particular time, Kersey just had a shot that he had to take over Shaquille.
Lakers can tie here, take a lead, down by 2. O'Neal with the spin, the kick out to Horry, and a 3 bucked by Fisher. Out to Horry, he'll tie a long distance. Over the backboard, not out of bounds. Let's bring in Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. And Quinn, I just spoke to Joe Bryant, Kobe Bryant's father. He's been in the locker room with his son much of the first quarter and second quarter. Said that, you know, Kobe, they are forcing the fluids. He lost a lot of salt, so he's eating potato chips to get that salt back into his system. It's hard to give him any medication right now because he didn't eat all last night. But I asked Joe if his son would play, and he said, you know, that he's a competitor, and he wants to get back out here. They're going to check his temperature, see if they can bring it down some more for the second half. Let's go back to you guys.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. There was a foul call inside on Eldon Campbell. As you take a look at Gary Vitti, who is the longtime trainer for the Los Angeles Lakers, was there through Showtime in the Pat Riley years and has continued through the 90s with a combination of coaches, and of course now Del Harris.
Yeah, and Gary's been doing, you know, he's as good a trainer as there is in basketball, and he and the team doctors are here, so you can be assured that Kobe's getting the best possible treatment.
Baker outside, away from the ball. There was a foul called. It was on Seattle. And they called the foul on Dale Ellis. That picks line just a bit of George Karl. Ellis gets his first foul. And here come the Los Angeles Lakers. And for the first time tonight, facing a little bit of full court pressure.
Well, this is the kind of pressure that Greg Anthony can afford to put on because he doesn't play a lot of minutes. And now it'll take him a longer time to get the ball to Shaquille.
Morey off to Campbell. Shot clock at 10. Big clock at 8:10. We're in the second quarter. Fisher dancing. Nice bullet pass inside. O'Neal inside over 2.
Yeah, O'Neal just bullied across from Vin Baker, who didn't get him, stay between him and the ball, and he just knocked down a little easy shot for Shaquille.
We're tied at 28. Again, we're tied, and again the Lakers have come back. They came back from 14 in game 1, back from 7 tonight. And inside, they put the clamps on Baker, a steal.
Dribbled into traffic, came out of it with nothing but a crash.
Lakers on a 9-2 run. Fisher got the feed, drives, pierces. O'Neal inside. He can't get it, but it'll go to the line.
The Lakers are doing a lot more than they did in game 1. This time they penetrate with the pass, get into Shaquille. Easy finish there. Kevin, they are much more aggressive off the dribble, which I think the Lakers can do, causing you to have to come and help, and they kick.
And O'Neal was not the problem. Game 1, he was 27-11 in that contest. He was great. It was everything around him that wasn't clicking.
Well, if they don't make shots from the perimeter, you can afford to double team and be late in getting back. Shaquille also in that game was 5 of 12 from the foul line. So far, he's 5. It looked like he's about 3 of 3.
And the team 5 of 5. And one thing that Del Harris talked about was that his team had to hit free throws, and they have tonight. They shot 55% from the line game 1. But because they're hitting the shots tonight, they lead by 2, 30-28.
Shaquille, he normally gets about 10 foul shots a game, so it helps if he can make more than what his number says, which is about 42%.
Baker riding some rough terrain inside, picked up by Jones, bumping into Ellis at the timeline. A foul called on Dale Ellis.
The one guy that can guard Baker seems to be Shaquille O'Neal, but they're going with Eldon Campbell. You see, letting them play, bumping, getting a lot of action. It was Robert Horry that made that play because he didn't let the easy shot get over the top by Vin Baker.
Los Angeles on an 8-0 run the last 3.5 minutes, and here's O'Neal. Oh, look out below! Shaq Daddy inside.
And Jerome Kersey guessed. He guessed wrong. You can't miss it on the big fella. George Karl wants a timeout.
And rightly so. The Lakers have taken over. They're on top 32-28. This is their biggest lead. And they're on a 10-0 roll right now. And Shaquille O'Neal is leading the way, steamrolling with 18 points. The Lakers by 4. The Lakers charged up by 4.
Yeah, he's been able to get the ball down low. If he gets it here, McIlvain can't do anything. Right here, another one. McIlvain comes to help. Shaq getting some easy putback. Position in the paint has been the difference. Didn't have it in game 1. Solid here in game 2.
Lucy working on the perimeter. Shaq is in the way. Get outside to Anthony. Shot clock at 4. Anthony has to dance into Fisher. Oh, top by Greg Anthony.
Tough shot. They needed to get a bucket, but that's a tough shot to have to take. But at least they get some points on the board. Percy again guarding Shaquille O'Neal. Lakers have to go to him.
That ends an almost 4-minute drought by Seattle in hitting a shot from the floor. Horry, Campbell, outside Fisher. 3, and it rattles out. Rebound taken inside by Schrempf.
Kevin, I don't know how you cannot get the ball to Shaquille O'Neal with Jerome Percy guarding. He was on the same side as the ball, and they took the ball away from him, and they never came back to align the repost. guy's dominating the entire game and you don't throw him the ball. That's the thing about centers. They're in dependent positions. They're dependent on other people getting them the basketball where they can be effective. Shaq has been carrying his load. His teammates have to recognize where he has the advantage, which is a lot of the time.
Not only has Los Angeles reeled off a 10-2 run, but their rebounding in this quarter has been magnificent. 7-1 advantage over Seattle.
Well, they're 19-11 overall, so that's been a big difference right now. They've been able to get to the glass.
Anthony on top. Lakers on top by 2 and halfway through the second quarter. Greg Anthony, who's had a lot of stops in New York and Vancouver, now with Seattle. Kersey pops it up. Here comes Horry. Jones is leading, but the Sonics get back nicely on defense. Van Exel will try to peruse the circle. O'Neal draws the crowd. Knocked away by Baker, picked up by Schrempf. Here come the Sonics, 5.5 in the half. It's Schrempf. Mismatch against Van Exel. Goes by him into Baker for 2.
What a nice move by Ben Baker. Faked the step like he was going to dunk it. Shaquille closed on him, and he went around him for the little layup.
We are tied at 32 apiece. Eddie Jones working on Hawkins on the perimeter. Shot clock is down to 5. Robert Horry inside. O'Neal got tangled up with Kersey. And there's a foul called on Jerome Kersey inside on O'Neal.
Watch Ben Baker. I'm sorry, Kevin. Watch Ben Baker here. He faked like he's going to dunk it, and Shaquille goes out of the way. Eldon Campbell assumed that Shaquille might get it, so he wasn't prepared for that move. They call a foul on Jerome Kersey because they throw a lob. I thought it was more of Shaquille losing balance. The officials felt that Jerome Kersey pushed Shaquille off balance.
5 minutes to play in the second quarter. We're tied at 32. Jones the drive. Van Exel back to Horry. Screen by Campbell. Robert Horry hits from 2.
And they're getting some offense from everybody this game.
And he's got 2. Horry just about make the steal as it collides into Louis Trio. And Horry getting his first points here.
Right there coming, Detlef Schrempf late. Horry coming, looking for the shot. Had 7 points in game 1 on only 5 shots. Knocks that one right down.
34-32. Lakers on top by 2 with under 5 to play in the first half. Sonics are shooting 49%. Lakers 43%. It's Kersey driving. Oh! Tried to hand off inside to Baker. Got a little too fancy. It's another Seattle turnover. They got 6 in the first half.
No, there was more poor spacing. Baker was trying to clear to the other side because he saw Kersey coming, and Kersey gave him a pass that was behind him, so he had no chance to handle it. And the quick is at it again.
He's almost a blur sometimes. He's so quick, but he couldn't get the payoff, and Schrempf is there to collect. He's got 6.
Yeah, they may get a mismatch.
Hawkins to Schrempf. Scoops it up. Tap-in try by Kersey won't go. Schrempf holds the ball and a timeout taken.
They'll take a 20-second timeout, but you see the desperation is starting to show up a little more playoff style for the Sonics.
Your display here and your jiu-jitsu.
Don't worry, you won't.
Taekwondo.
No, you won't.
4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 34-32, Lakers by 2. Payton and Jones, Schrempf and Fox. Shot clock at 15.
2 all defensive players right here going against each other.
Payton outside. Perkins, he's hit 2 threes. Can he make it 3? Does! Sam Perkins is running the table.
Oh, I mean, he waited a long time. Sam, they called the big smooth, was very smooth on that play. Never broke his rhythm with a flying Robert Horry coming at it.
He touches the ball, and his chambers are filled, and the Sonics by 1. There's a foul on the perimeter, and they call it on Hersey Hawkins. This is number 3 of 3 for Perkins.
Watch how patient he is, and you can see Robert Horry is flying, but Sam Perkins never broke his rhythm, made all of his 3-point shots. That's great concentration and confidence in your ability to knock that 3 down. Sam Perkins stretches the defense of the Lakers making shots like that.
Sam Perkins began in Dallas, went to Los Angeles, played in the conference championship, and then shipped here to Seattle, where he's played for 5.5 seasons. Loves it here, will retire here, he says.
So So far in this 5 games that they've played, I mean, yeah, in the games they played here in the playoffs, he's only averaging 4.5 a game, so he's been able to get his game back going. The one guy they have not been able to get into it is Dale Ellis.
Baker was whacked and out of bounds. A clean hit, they say. 11 seconds on the shot clock with 3:15 to play in the first half.
Another side of Shaquille. Most people don't think that he has quick hands. He's got quick hands, and he got his hand on that ball.
Tell you what, playing the NBA, you got to have strong hands and strong wrists because you get slapped all the time.
Particularly in playoff time because the officials let you play a little bit more.
Shrimp, shot clock at 3. Shrimp the miss, picked up by Fox, scoops it off to Van Exel. Weaving by Trump. Look up for Shaq! Oh, incoming!
Great
Shaquille
pass
O'Neal
by Nick Van Exel because he was going. I mean, he and Shaquille were running parallel, and then they got on the same plane, and he just threw it at the basket. Shaquille went to get it.
Shaq's got 20. He's 8 of 12. The 2:40 to play here in the second quarter. Payton, the no-look out to Perkins, into Baker, picked up by O'Neal. O'Neal outweighs Baker by 65 pounds. That time it didn't matter. The shot was off. O'Neal grabs it, and here comes Los Angeles with Van Exel trying to pull something out of his head at the other end.
He's trying to make his team play with energy, and they have been playing with energy this half.
Van Exel dancing, and there's a whistle and a foul, and it's called on Robert Horry.
Here's a tough move by Nick Van Exel. He just lobs it on the same plane as Shaquille because Shaquille is to the basket. And when you have a guy that quick, that strong, with that kind of leaping ability, use it to your advantage shot with the finish. The Lakers going at it and playing very well against this Seattle Supersonics team. Nick Van Exel been big, 6 points, but he's got 5 assists.
Shaq's got 20, and here comes Perkins. He's been big. Van Exel closes the door. Hawkins inside. Picked up by O'Neal, his third.
Great outlet.
Buckle up for Eddie Jones. Oh, what a play.
Shaq makes the play because the outlet gets by the defense, Kevin. He makes the outlet pass, and it is across half court by 2 steps. No way the Sonics can get back.
39-35, Lakers by 4. Minute and a half to play in the half. Nice spin move by Payton. Kicks it out Perkins. Payton for 3. Short. Tapped around, foul ball picked up by Hawkins. It's Shrimp now facing Fox. They go single coverage. Man-to-man inside. O'Neal with yet another rebound, and he's got 4. And here come the Lakers the other way. 1:13 to play.
This tempo has been up. The defense of the Sonics has not been nearly as disruptive in this game, and I think the decision-making by the Lakers with a minute to go has been much better here than in game 1.
Van Exel, mismatch against Baker, shoots the 3, hits nothing but cotton. This is Los Angeles' biggest lead tonight. The Sonics have missed 5 in a row. Baker trying to work it inside. O'Neal got a hand on him, or he flew, and a foul called inside.
One of the things that really makes a difference, if you have people, Bill Walton was one of the best I ever saw do this. Get the ball, make the good outlet, the strength to make that pass. He gets it. Gary Payton, one of the best steal men in basketball, couldn't get it in time. Eddie Jones gets the finish.
Here's Baker at the line, who was very frustrated in game 1 with his shooting from the stripe as Eldon Campbell comes in, and Shaquille O'Neal will leave with his 20 points, 4 rebounds, and domination inside the lane.
Well, he's carried the team. He's got just short of half of their points with that 20 of the 42. Just been a force, and not much the Sonics can do. I expect the Sonics to try to trap more maybe in the second half.
Here comes Van Exel. He's been a spark. Plays like that throughout the first half.
Nick the Quick with a little trick. Oh, he came with that one.
He's got 11 and 9 in the second quarter. Payton outside to Shrimp. They wanted him to shoot more outside tonight, but the shot just has not been there. Payton, is it 4 for Perkins? That's his first miss. Foul called on Fox, who got tangled up with Shrimp in 18 seconds to play, and a technical foul on Rick Fox.
He's got every right to. First of all, he got grabbed. It's a very savvy veteran move, and he has every right to be concerned because Detlef Shrimp grabbed him by the pants and wrapped his arm and then acted as though he was going for the ball. You'll see him. Take a look at it. It's right there. That's where you take a look. See, he's got him right now. And then watch what he tries to do. Detlef doesn't really go anywhere. He acts like he's trying to jump and go somewhere. He does it, and he does it on the outside where the official on the inside could not see it. in addition to the foul, Fox gets the patent.
Hawkins has been shooting 93% from the free throw line in the playoffs. So the tee on Fox. Free throws coming up for Detlef Schrempf. Seattle a meager 1 of 4 from the free throw line tonight, and that is a shock because the Seattle team basically won game 1 at the line.
Yeah, they were 23 of 27 at the line during the course of the game. Lakers only taking 20 foul shots, but making just 11 for 55%.
That is Detlef Schrempf's first point tonight, with O'Neal resting in 20 and Fox moments ago getting tagged with the tee. Schrempf again. Gamble is there. Final seconds for the Lakers.
Nick Van Exel is like Gary Payton. If he gets a chance for a 3, he likes to put the dagger in someone. Watch to see if Nick gets to the 3-point line.
Good as it goes. Rebound Baker. A second left, and he hurdles the ball the other way, and out of bounds it goes as the buzzer sounds. So Shaquille O'Neal authors a 20-point first half with 4 rebounds and a perfect display at the free throw line. The Lakers, with great impetus also with the play of Nick Van Exel, lead it 44-37. Seattle missed their last 6 shots.
11 in the first half, and look who's on the bench, Mr. Kobe Bryant.
Battling the flu, let's check in with Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Kevin and Quinn. Well, obviously with Kobe Bryant on the bench, he's feeling a little better. They got his temperature down. Now it's just a matter of Gary Vitti wanting him to come out during warm-up and run around to see if he didn't get dizzy. He's feeling good. They may try to let him go. Back to you guys.
Yeah, the stamina question now is the big one.
Yeah, that's really going to be the question. I'm sure Del Harris won't risk Kobe Bryant very much in this game. What he'll do is see if he has energy. If he can play, he lets him play. If not, he lets him go back in.
McElvain inside, rejected by O'Neal, and that is the first Seattle basket in almost 4 minutes, and their first shot in 7. So they have had some problems here in this game. Getting it in right now, their lead, Los Angeles up by 5. Jones was hampered, picked up by Schrempf. Seattle's got numbers the other way. It's Baker inside, plowing inside into Ori, picked up by Fisher. Here comes Los Angeles. Rick Fox.
Great decision by Derek Fisher. It was what they call a semi-secondary, the semi-break. Not up and down. There's an opportunity to maybe pull it out, but he saw the opportunity to get it to the right player. He made that pass. Fox knocked it down.
And patience is a key, I would assume, in something like that.
There's no question that, but the decision-making for the Lakers, as I said here early, has been good.
How about Jim McElvain and his 2 of 2 start to begin the second half?
Good patience by McElvain. Shaq didn't come get him, but he's in the paint.
Look out.
So
O'Neal
paint
inside.
basket. A paint foul at the very worst.
22 for O'Neal. 48-41. Lakers on top by 7. Hawkins for 3. Oh, what a shot by Hawkins.
He didn't get many looks in the first half. He only took 1. He had 2 shots in the first half. But what he did in game 2, in game 1, was he was looking for it. I just didn't think he looked for it much here, Kevin.
Crowd now sensing perhaps Seattle has been revived out of halftime. 48-44. Lakers by 4. Jones for 3. Right between the eyes. Eddie Jones. 51-44. Hawkins. Baker comes up with the loose ball, fending off the defending Jones. Into O'Neal. Ori knocked it away.
Yeah, but Ben Baker's learning. You've got to handle the ball, but you've got to play with force.
Almost having to steal Jones. Payton takes it away, driving into Ori. Rejected by O'Neal and picked up inside by McElvain, and a foul call. It's on Derek Fisher, the starting Laker point guard.
Again, McElvain, you've got to do the effort play. Gary Payton takes it. Shot comes out for his 3rd block that time. McElvain is able to pick it up. Then Fisher gets back in the fray, but too late, gets called for the foul.
51-44. Here's McElvain. Jones is on Payton. Baker and Ori are jousting. Baker with the spin, a foul called on Robert Orr.
Well, they're jostling hard. Derek Fisher's shoe was untied. He was guarding Hersey Hawkins, but Hersey Hawkins didn't know it.
And you lose the tread on your tire, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and that's why it was untied, because he really didn't have his foot firmly in his shoe.
Need both wheels in this game. Here comes Baker. Wheeling into O'Neal. Rejected by Shaquille. He's got 4.
If you don't go after the basket strong, or you don't go into Shaquille, he'll block that every time. If you give him clearance, he'll get to it.
3 minutes gone here in the second half. Payton drives. Slam in try by Shrimp. Goes for naught. Here comes Fisher. Scoops it to Jones.
This is a smart play. Be patient, because they cannot guard Shaq. And he's calling for it. They can't guard him.
McElvain is in there, the best defensive guy. But 50 pounds lighter than O'Neal. Picked up Jones.
Shot clock on the baseline.
Stepped out of bounds.
Shaq kind of shakes his head, but he had a chance. They had a chance to get it to him in position to score. They've got to do a better job in finding him. How about Gary Payton is 6'4", going after 6'7" Rick Fox.
Bouncing and bumping and grinding, and a foul. Nope, a 3-second violation.
3-second violation.
That's turnover number 8 for Seattle. Eldon Campbell sets the check in, and we are in game 2, best of 7. And the Pacific Division collision, the Sonics and the Lakers.
The longer this game goes and Seattle is struggling to get back in it, the pressure falls clearly on them. They're trying to maintain home court advantage.
Shrimp got a hand on it, deflects out of bounds, shot clock at 8. And it will be an inbound from Los Angeles with 8:01 to play here in the third. Fisher took his time. Campbell lets it go down. Here comes Gary Payton. Flying inside, Gary Payton.
What a good job Gary did by going to the left side of the rim. Ball going down the right side, because you force the defender not to jump, because he'll hit his hand on the rim in an attempt to block the shot.
A trapping defense. Fisher works through it. Sonics down by 5, and a whistle on the perimeter, and a foul called on Gary Payton.
Gary Payton will show you some quickness. This is a race here that he should win more often than not with Eldon Campbell. Campbell hustles back. Campbell tried the time to jump. You see Gary Payton move away, use the rim to protect.
Watching Shrimp. Fox looking to get it inside to Campbell. O'Neal is on the opposite block. Fisher, nice ball rotation. Wide open is Eddie Jones for 3.
Gary Payton made a decision to go at Fisher, and at this point, I'm leaving Fisher open, and I'm staying with Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones with 15, a huge departure from game 1 for him.
Yeah, game 1, he just was not much of a factor at all, at least in the first half. He struggled. He's 5 of 8 here now.
Shot clock at 9. Payton working on Jones inside. It's Baker. O'Neal defending and got a hand on it. Hawkins swoops in. O'Neal comes up with it inside and a foul.
Got to call it on McElvain. Again, right here, you leave Eddie Jones open. He's going to knock down shots. He's been looking for his jumper. There's a 3 right there, his second here in the half.
Timeout.
With the Lakers, and secondly, he says they have to do a better job on the defensive boards and match the aggressiveness of the Lakers. Back to you guys.
Hey, Cheryl, you're right by the Laker bench. What's the latest on Kobe Bryant?
Well, so far it looks like Kobe said he's ready to go, but Dale said he will not use him unless it's absolutely necessary.
That's probably a pretty good decision on Dale's part not to put him out on the floor, because as we talked about, you don't want to risk it. This young man, you've got, potentially 3-4 more games you're going to play.
Shot clock at 3. Fisher buries a triple.
He can shoot 3s. The thing Cheryl was talking about that's important with Shaquille, he guards Ben Baker. When they do it, it's one-on-one, so you don't get the three-point shooters as wide open as you did in game 1 when the Sonics were 10 or 21.
Lakers have their biggest lead. Outside, it's Payton working on Fox into the double team. Shrimp, and Fox is going back and forth like a ping pong, covering the outside and the inside. Hawkins launches and misses. Campbell there to retrieve.
Yeah, but the good chase out by Fisher, so Hawkins had to take a tough shot.
Eddie Jones. Fox What a pass by Jones. Fox can't convert. Bodies strewn all over the floor. Lakers control.
Yeah, but I like the Lakers' effort. I mean, I said you got to come in and come get loose balls. They're doing a good job of coming up with it. Gary Payton trying to increase the defensive pressure.
There's O'Neal plowing inside into McIlvain. That's a foul called on McIlvain. And he's got 4.
If he doesn't reach for the ball, he's got a legitimate argument for an offensive foul because there's really nowhere for Shaquille to go. You've got to force Shaq up if he comes across the paint. He does that. He gets him. I don't know how that's a foul against McIlvain because Shaquille just turned that right shoulder into him. He got away. We got a break on that one.
57-46 Lakers. Quick foul on the inbound pass.
Yeah. I dare say that life has its way of evening itself out.
That's on Eldon Campbell. Lakers with Campbell, O'Neal, and Fox. Backcourt of Jones and Fisher. The Sonics have brought in Sam Perkins, coupled with Shrimp and Baker, Hawkins and Payton in the backcourt.
They're trying to figure out, is George Karl, how to stretch the defense a little bit more, because Shaq is causing them so much problem in the paint.
Shrimp trying to get his outside game working, has to take it inside over Fox. Hawkins had a hand on it. Shrimp collects it outside Perkins. Thinking about 3, has to throw up a 2 off balance. Rebound gobbled up by O'Neal.
Watch the lob.
Jones, buckle up for Eldon Campbell, who can't get it to go.
Yeah, it was a tough lob. It was stretched out a little too much.
Hawkins for 3. Oh, he can't find it. Out of bounds and off Seattle.
Now, Gary Payton was trying to make a good effort to come up with it, but wasn't able to. Same for Eldon Campbell off this lob. Stretched a little bit too thin. You see, he had to stretch back. And when he stretched back to get the ball on the lob, he should have brought this one down. Was not able to bring it through the rim.
Under 5 to play here in the third. Fisher trying to work on the defense of Hawkins, and the Hawk picks up a foul.
I see the Lakers making better adjustments to the officiating than the Sonics.
How so?
They're starting to call a little bit more out front. You can't put your hands on players. Gives Nick Van Exel and the Lakers a chance to beat you off the dribble.
Van Exel is in. A great first half. 11 points, 5 assists.
And Hawkins on Van Exel trying to make sure that Gary Payton doesn't have to do everything, but he's guarding Eddie Jones.
Fox picked up by Shrimp. Shot clock at 9. Van Exel thought about 3. Hawkins closes the door. O'Neal tries to open another. Rebound by Baker.
That's the shot you want. If you get him far enough off the block, that's the only shot Shaq can really get. Sam ran right into Eddie Jones.
Charge on Perkins, his first of the game.
And I just saw a little bit of frustration with Gary Payton. Every time they seem to get a little slow, something happens. Dale Harris being the beneficiary of that one. Dale Harris wanted the ball to go up quickly, but Gary Payton got to delay a game because they can't quite catch that break.
Lakers by 11. Van Exel and Hawkins. Look at Van Exel dancing.
Yeah, he danced, but he didn't go anywhere. It's one thing to dance. You got to on the court. You got to go somewhere. Tough shot, Eddie Jones.
Foul for the second time, assessed Gary Payton.
Eddie Jones, again, I talked about the dribble penetration. Now you're seeing it more. Officials making that call. Jones takes a tough shot. They call a foul in motion on Gary Payton. Sonics got to settle down, Kevin. I mean, defensively, you're going to have to settle down and make the Lakers make tough shots over some. You got to contest them.
Lakers by 12. This is their biggest lead tonight. Approaching 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Seattle has missed their last 5 shots, and they haven't hit anything from the field in almost 4 minutes of this third quarter. Perkins trying to work in on Campbell, and a foul called on Eldon Campbell.
I believe that's his 5th. As Eldon has 4 on him, Eldon Campbell, he got tricked into this, to tell you the truth. He really did, because he put his arms up. Sam Perkins had very little intention of trying to make the shot. Once Campbell's hands went up, what Sam did, old veteran, make sure you take the ball to him and run it right under his arms. He has nowhere to put him.
Perkins will be 37 next month, yet he is still a very big contributor to this Sonic ball club. 3:55 here in the third quarter. And in particular, in this game, he has shown just a guy, like Campbell, for instance, what a big man can do outside because he's hit 3 threes.
See, Seattle is 2 of 7 from the line. And remember, we said they were 23 of 27 in game 1. So that's having some effect. It's killed some momentum for them as much as it did not let them get back some of the points that they've given up.
Lakers have out-rebounded Seattle by 10, 32-22. Van Exel into traffic. And over the head of Corey Blunt, who cut inside when Van Exel thought he would stick on the wing.
But you know why? Because unlike Eddie Jones, Corey Blunt is most effective near the basket. So when the ball goes and it looks like it's going to be shot, he's a rebounder. It's a natural tendency for him to go. Jump shooters to stay out there.
Lakers have 6 turnovers in this quarter, yet they've got their biggest lead of the game. Tough shot inside by Payton, picked up by Blunt, the former Bull, up to Van Exel, 3 on 2. Van Exel flies inside for 2.
This is the Lakers team. Game 1, it was 11-4 at halftime. Fast point breaks in favor of the Sonics. Halftime here was 10-4. See the Lakers push it up again, get another fast break opportunity. And I think that if there's anything that has to be done at this time of the year, you've got to respect the game. That's just the way the game's played.
Los Angeles on a 9-0 run the last 4 minutes, which means Seattle hasn't scored in over 4. Baker tries to end the drought, can't, gets his ball, pull it inside. Baker can't get it to go, but a foul is called.
Yeah, they're contesting every shot on Vin Baker. He's staying at it after it offensively, but they're contesting. You got Shaq out of the way, and that time Corey Blunt.
That's the second on Corey Blunt. Baker at the line.
Baker does a good job. He wheels back in, and he wants to finger roll it, but you can see Corey Blunt's hand was right there, so there's nowhere for him to go.
Baker, who shoots a horrible percentage from the line, is 2 of 3 tonight. His team 3 of 9. Lakers, as you saw, 8 of 10.
Well, he's worked on it. He was shooting about 40% coming into this game, 52% during the year.
Under 3 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Sorry, he's 59% during the year. But at any rate, that's not good enough. Well, all the posting up he gets, he needs to be around 70, 75.
Van Exel, double team. Shot clock at 3. Jones will try to create inside. Rebound off the hands of Blunt, picked up by L.A.
Great effort by Corey Blunt just to get there.
Van Exel, knocked away by Perkins, picked up by O'Neal, out the box. Back to Shaq, who's had a quiet quarter. Jones for 3. Rebound, Clark. Oh, did he hustle inside? He draws the foul.
But they had the kind of defense the Sonics like. What you'd have to do on defense is you look at Jerome Kersey come in, you're still on defense until you grab the rebound. Blunt got that one and fouled.
2:18, 3rd quarter. The Lakers on top, 60-48 over Seattle.
What does he have to do in order to get a key to the city?
Well, I'm not the mayor of the city of Seattle, so I can't arrange that. Jurisdiction.
It's out of his jurisdiction. Oh,
okay.
Hey, too bad, Quinn. I was working on it for you, pal.
Great effort. I appreciate it, Cheryl. I'll take one to the state.
You take just about anything, I guess. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I'm sure the governor will take a victory.
So this capacity crowd, but they trail by 14. Payton is now orchestrating the offense to Kersey, who's back in and has given great passion for the game. And down goes Perkins, and a foul called on the Lakers.
Yeah,
Perkins just got tangled up.
They really did. They were getting tangled up just as Dale Ellis was about to make the pass. But bench play has been still important. Nick Van Exel, though having been a starter, now Blunt giving some good production off the bench, and Blunt.
Here's Sam Perkins, has had a nice night. 3 consecutive threes in the first half. Served as a very nice spark for the Sonics. Who at one time led by 7, now trailed by 13 points. With that free throw right there. There's Kobe Bryant at the top of our show. He did not play the first half because he's battling the flu. And Eddie Jones, we asked who would step up. Eddie Jones certainly has taken that role tonight.
Yeah, Eddie Jones has really stepped up. Between them, they only had 13 points in game 1. They weren't very effective, but Jones has come out. He got into the transition game, which is the game he's most effective at.
And another 2 to play now here in the 3rd quarter. It's 62-49 with the Lakers on top. Trapped in double team with no place to go. Fisher.
He got a timeout. Yeah, they got a timeout. But what the Sonics have done is all of a sudden
Timeout.
They trap, and they will trap you if you get in the corners, and one of the Kaufman corners is baseline, half-court line. George Karl has his team trying to be more aggressive defensively.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, for the NBA playoffs right here on TNT. Lakers inbound after the timeout. Horry through traffic, off the block, out of bounds off Seattle.
Yeah, but you know what? The Lakers are still able to penetrate. I mean, he didn't get the shot off. So they're still doing what they want to do. Get to the basket, expose the Sonics to foul.
And the shot clock at 7. Into O'Neal. Knocked away inside and picked up by Horry. It spins out. Rebound Blount out to Fisher. A fresh 24 for Los Angeles.
Rebounding 36-23 in favor of the Lakers. That's the key.
And it was just the opposite game 1.
Yeah, the game 1, it was 41-35.
O'Neal. Rebound inside by who else? Jerome Percy. Seattle has missed their last 7 shots. Well, Ellis on the drought. The shooting continues to stagger. Rebound by O'Neal.
Yeah, he's got to get his confidence back, but it looks a lot better. It was flat because he's had that muscle strain, very similar to the one that Shaquille O'Neal had. But now his shot is up. Now he's just got to make some for the Sonics.
Horry into Shaq, tripled out to Fisher for 3. Rebound, another offensive rebound by Blount. They're not blocking him out.
Well, one of the things you struggle with is when you double team, you don't have a man to block out. It's rotation. The question is, does everybody pick up a man out of the rotation? Blount has been the man left open.
O'Neal's been quiet, passing out a double team after double team. Horry for 3. Another miss. This time Ellis climbs the ladder and picks it up for the Sonics.
They can go quickly for 2.
They need to. Half minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Horry knocked it away and comes up with the steal. Lakers are a much different team tonight.
Well, they're more focused tonight. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they took offense, and I'm sure they took their share of heat in Los Angeles for the way they played in game 1. And they're out to show that they can play. Oh, the quick is ready.
Van Exel flies inside. Rebound. Horry can't get it to go. Blount, another offensive rebound, and O'Neal taps it up and in.
Blount had 1, Horry had 1, and then the Shaq man just gets the tip at the end. Lakers are rolling.
64-49 the Lakers, and in that short stretch there, Corey Blount had 7 rebounds, 5 on the offensive glass. Backing away from the challenge. Will Van Exel answer this? He does! Right between the eyes. Van Exel hits it.
You can tell he slept on that whole thought, because as soon as he got the ball, he was looking for that opening, and he drilled that 3-pointer. Coming out early, Sonics tried to come out in a little bit of a press situation. Got to shoot it.
18-point Los Angeles lead without Kobe Bryant battling the flu on the bench. And let's check in with Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Kevin and Quinn. Well, George Karl out of that 3rd quarter, into the 3rd quarter, was looking right at Dale Ellis and said, look, everybody needs to just relax on the offensive end and stop pressing on your shots. And he said, back on the defensive end, we're doing a great job. It's just rebounding has not been consistent. He said, put the Lakers on your back and keep them there, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, that's the most important thing when you're going championship basketball. Defense is important, but that doesn't conclude until you rebound the ball. And there's no question that Dale has been pressing. He's got Derek Fisher on him. It's going to be tough for Dale to get his 3-point shot off, but he may be able to get post up or get to an easy basket. You take a look at the difference in game 1 where the Sonics were +6. Tonight, they're -15, 42-27.
Jerry Payton tries. Van Exel got him on the perimeter.
Well, they call offensive foul.
They're going to call it on Payton. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Well, the question is whether or not he drops that arm on him. Does he hook you? He grabbed him, there's no doubt about it, and the official was standing right there.
Minute gone here in the 4th. Fisher taking his time. Van Exel just hit a 3 from there. Payton poses him.
No, he is on. You talk about the glove. Let me tell you, he's trying to see if there's some fur in that glove. He's on it.
Van Exel put up a desperation shot. Rebound inside by Payton, bumping and shoving around with Campbell inside the lane.
You're inside, as you can see, it's for men. 2 guys coming out rubbing their heads. This is the big boys playing down here. like you used to play on the playground. The little boys play on the one end, the big boys on the other. This is the big boys. Playoff time.
Sonics haven't scored since the 7:55 mark of the third quarter.
See, the Lakers are doing what the Sonics did defensively. That's,
what a knockdown by Payton. What a rejection by Campbell. Counted for 2 on the goaltender.
But defensively, it's taken the Sonics a long time to get into their sets, and that's what they don't need to do that.
So almost a 10-minute drought without a shot hitting from the field for Seattle. Stopped right there. 67-51 Los Angeles.
What's the lineup to have Dale Ellis in there being a scorer when you need to get some defensive stops?
Fisher with the drive on Perkins. Saw the mismatch and exploits it well.
Did a great job taking it to the basket. They get a delay of game for the Lakers. Sam's got to force him to shoot the jumper over pressure.
2 minutes gone, fourth quarter.
And Shaquille is on the bench. Remember that.
It's a very active group out here right now. McMillan driving, Van Wheel and all, and a foul call.
I thought they called it offense, yeah.
They did.
They were looking for, they both looked, neither one, Bob Delaney nor Steve Javie, were necessarily sure which the other was going to call, who moved first. Delaney gets the call. He called offensive. Corey Blunt in the mix again.
He's the Jerome Kersey tonight.
He's shaking it up. He made a call. It's a tough call to make, whether it's a block or a charge. One of the toughest calls in basketball. But you can't complain about that now. This is playoff time.
Well, Javie's a tough cookie to begin with, one of the best in the NBA. His dad was a longtime NFL referee. Here's Campbell into Perkins. Loose inside, rebound again by Ori, and that's been the story for the Lakers and the Sonics tonight.
Oddly enough, two Sonics had the ball, and they knocked it out of Nate McMillan's hands.
Van Exel.
Oh, he walked.
Campbell, he did walk inside. That's a turnover for Los Angeles. Trying to dance on Blount, who's been absolutely spectacular in the second half, coming off the Del Harris bench.
I'll tell you why it makes a difference. See, they've been guarding Delta Shrimp with Rick Fox.
And I thought that was a great job right there again. Cross court, Ellis for 2. He continues to short arm.
Tough shot for him there.
Rebound by Jones.
They're not getting much production. Detlef Shrimp hadn't been able to make shots. They got Blunt on him. Fox had been the one on him. Ellis is 0-4, Shrimp 0-5.
Jones has been hot. Jones has been real hot.
Oh, he got a prayer answered there.
Wow. Payton takes it the other way. Again, looking for Ellis. This is the biggest Los Angeles lead of 20. Payton, nice fake by Van Exel. Got him in the air. Ellis alone for 3.
They got it. Boy, and his head went down. And part of the reason he's still in the game for George Collins, George was trying to give him confidence. He's had to make a decision in order to get a better defensive team. He's brought Hersey Hawkins back in the game.
Remember, Ellis is the #1 3-point shooter in the NBA this regular season.
I watched his motions as he sat down. He's 4-14 in threes. He is just not playing with any confidence at all.
Shrimp drive with that sweeping hook. Won't go. Jones kicked it away. 3:20 to play.
Give the Lakers team credit. When you look at things now, I'm watching guys come out complaining to officials. They all have on white shirts. That's not how you get it done.
Nice thing about Los Angeles tonight, they don't have to use Kobe Bryant. Here's Shrimp outside McMillan for 3.
He never was set.
Now the Sonics are 4 of 15.
What a pass!
Comes Robert Horry. And a whistle and a foul on Nate McMillan.
That is a one-hand off the bounce pass. I mean, he literally picks it up. Watch, one dribble and takes it and just threads the needle. No way for Payton to get to it. The smart thing for McMillan to do is the foul. Nick the Quick has done everything his team has needed. They asked him to go to the bench. He's accepted that role, come off of it and been strong here in game 2.
Robert Horry at the free throw line with 9 rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass tonight. That's Van Exel after the nice assist try at the other end.
Oh, I'm sure these guys sat down and did a little soul searching before they came back for this game.
What about Seattle in game 2s? They've got a horrible game 2 record in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, they struggled in game 2. I don't know if they necessarily, I didn't think they were overconfident. I think they played a better, a more focused LA team, a team that really knew where they wanted to go with the basketball. I just didn't think the Lakers were that way in game 1.
Under 8 to play. LA now at the free throw line. 12 of 14. Payton around Horry. Payton had it knocked away by Robert Horry and picked up by Campbell.
I thought he got it before it went up, and Gary Payton wants to try to goaltend.
73-51. The Sonics have scored 51 points. And we're deep into the fourth quarter. Van Exel with the move on Hawkins. Out of bounds. Off of LA.
And here comes Shaquille O'Neal. I didn't think he was going to let Ben Baker come back in the game. If Ben's coming in, Shaq's coming, because Shaq can guard Ben. Del Harris doing a good job in terms of substitution. He doesn't want Ben to get going. Shaq gets to take a break, not at the line, before the officials put the ball in play.
Payton, nice screen by Perkins. Mismatch against Campbell. Jones fights through it. McMillan, nice cutting move by Hawkins. By Blount. Blount's got 4 fouls. That looked like almost a clean hit.
Great cut by Hersey Hawkins to get there, but it's right here. Then Blount comes over. He does whack him right across the head. The official was in a position, makes a very good call. Blount wants to know why. Why me? Because you fouled him.
Hawkins at the line with a couple coming his way. The free throw line has not been the friend of Seattle tonight.
Well, Hawks almost a 90% foul shooter. He can make foul shots. His teammates just haven't done it. And then, you know, over the course of the year, they're a 72% foul shooting team. They just haven't made enough foul shots today. They're 6 of 13 from the line.
(73-53), 20-point game. 7:15 to play. Whistle down low, away from the ball. It's called on Gary Payton.
Oh, he's been going. Remember down here when the one that Robert Horry blocked about the goaltender? He was going at Steve Javie from that play on, and it's just a matter of time with Steve Javie that if you keep it up with Gary Payton, that Javie won't give you a technical as Jones knocks down that technical.
Bounds, quick shot into O'Neal and knocked away, and George Karl is not getting the kind of performance he thought he'd get in game 2.
No, but you know what? This one has as much to do with a better performance from the Lakers as it does, well, lack of a performance from the Sonics.
Approaching 7 to play in the game. 2 Lakers are down. Fisher's got to create. Shrimp meets him. Jones shimmies. Jones fires. Rebound, O'Neal, and a whistle. And a foul.
And so do the Lakers. The Lakers got a break. Tough shot to take. Shaq catches it. That shot clock is down at 2. He gets hacked, goes to the foul line.
It's all Los Angeles, 74-53. Timeout.
I thought we'd be attacking the basket more like we were last night, and it's kind of a shocker. We're not shooting very well from the free throw line either, so.
Well, how do you think they'll do back in Los Angeles?
I think we'll be all right. I mean, we beat them down there this year, so I think we'll be all right.
Any advice for Gary?
Take it to the hole.
Simple as that. Hey, whether you're a basketball player or a bass player, take it to the rack. That's what you got.
I'm going to tell you one of the most remarkable things about tonight. Shaquille O'Neal is 6 of 6 from the free throw line.
No, there were game faces on early for the Lakers. They did not like the way they played in game 1, and I mean, they brought the whole package.
23-point lead for Los Angeles. McMillan from downtown. Rebound by Blount. He's been the X factor tonight. Off the bench, the intangibles have been key.
He really has. They've been able to divide the time to a degree without having Kobe Bryant on the floor and getting to have Corey Blount on the floor, and his active body has been part of it.
And that's a foul. And a technical foul on Nate McMillan.
Yeah, when Steve Javie makes the call, I think it's a bad call, frankly. But that being aside, Javie makes the foul call. Fisher loses the ball, and McMillan objects, and Bob Delaney wisely comes from the backside. Having seen that, makes the technical call.
Well, you see Corey Blount tonight. He has been the story off the bench for the Lakers. And in game 1, it was Jerome Kersey. So we have had, even though the numbers of Blount, just 2 points, aren't very impressive. He's had 8 rebounds. That is a career playoff high. And he's had most of those on the offensive glass, whereas Kersey was the story in game 1.
Well, it's always going to be somebody, generally speaking, it'll be somebody other than stars periodically. So that's what's starting to happen. But here, Deadlift Shrimp just picked up a foul. You see, they've got the officials now, and the officials are not going to tolerate what's going on, and they're making calls. And at this point, with Steve Jabb, leave him alone. There's certain officials you don't bother. He's one of them.
Eddie, time out.
Losing 6 to play in the game. O'Neal to Fisher to Ori. Nice fake on Kersey, and he'll Bam! Flight school is in session, and the Lakers are flying high.
Bringing all the dribble penetration we talked about right here. Robert Ori takes it strong. Shaquille O'Neal even moved out of the way. Not much. Watch Shaquille jump. Oh, let me get out of the way. He saw that one coming from way out for Robert Ori.
That puts an exclamation point on this Laker lead and perhaps victory, up now by 24. 6 to play.
Kevin, it's hard to beat anybody in this league when you're looking at a team that's scoring 53 points with 6 to go.
Seattle's had but 1 field goal the last 14 minutes. Incredible drop. Shrimp. Off to Gary Payton. Breezes by Jones. Takes it outside with the pass to Kersey.
Oh, he's open. Oh, he overthrew him. Shaq had him. He just overthrew him. I mean, he was too strong. He got happy. And Derek Fisher waited a moment. He should have just gone down to the basket, and then Shaq could just throw it to him.
Five and a half to play in the game. Payton moving inside and then handing off to Baker in a 3-second violation.
If you name it, it's happened tonight.
I cannot believe Seattle has come out so flat at home when they knew this was even more an important game than game 1.
I still don't say that they necessarily came out as flat as I think the Lakers have just played a lot better. They came to play. But look, this Laker team they've taken hits, they've gone to the floor. I mean, just a myriad of things have happened. Blunt came into play. The bench didn't play nearly as well for the Lakers in game 1.
And they have tonight, as you see, Greg Anthony check in.
Got to get somebody off the floor.
Yeah, 6 guys on the floor, and Shrimp will be the guy.
Going to a young, quick team, probably see some trap. Not necessarily that it's a young team, but it's going to a quicker team.
O'Neal off the blunt. Nice ball rotation. We've seen better ball movement tonight by Los Angeles. Approaching 5 to play here in the 4th quarter. Fisher for 3. Rebound, Ori. Whoa! Robert Ori up high and down hard.
Dropping it big on him.
The other way, Payton got a nice lead from Hawkins.
Whoa, Robert Ori.
Seattle has gone 6 of 26 from the field in the second half.
The nature of basketball is always going to be the case. Shot 46%, 52 from the threes. It catches up with you. The law of averages says after 30%, 35, 33% top shot, it just catches up with you.
Payton and Greg Anthony finds Hawkins, double teamed inside. For 2, nice play by Hawkins. Robert Ori has turned in 2 spectacular dunks. Here's the back end of 2.
Well, he gets this one here, just going over the top. That time it looked as though it was Hersey Hawkins. That's his second dunk. You see the bench is happy. Don Barry's right there in the right, and then Nick Van Exel and Sean Rooks comes into the picture, getting a little enjoyment there. And George Kyle has made a decision. This one is not one they're going to get. He takes Ben Baker out and brings in David Wingate. This is one of those games, Kevin. You go back. The question is, what do you look at it or not? No, I don't think you need to see a repeat of this. I think you've seen about enough if you're the Sonics. For the Lakers' confidence, they got to be good. Steal one. They did.
And they rested Kobe Bryant tonight. There's a steal by Anthony. A little 3-on-1. Ahead it goes to David Wingate.
As much as they've rested, they've just learned how to play under the circumstances. I mean, this is a road win in the playoffs. This is substantial.
Bryant tonight battling the flu. He was in the locker room with fluids being pumped into him by trainer Gary Vitti. But they didn't have to use him, and so as you said accurately before, he's going to have about 4 days off before the next game Friday. Here's Jones, and he hits the floater. And he's stepped up for Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he really has. He's looked for a shot. He's taking it to the basket, and that's what you got to be able to do. Percy's doing it now, but I said at the top of the list, take it to the hole.
Jerome Kersey comes up with 2 on the drive across the lane. Sometimes that's the hardest shot to make. He's got 2 points tonight. Kersey does. He's at the free throw line trying to complete the 3-point play.
That's soul searching right there. It's happening right there, but deadlift strength. And I suspect, and so is Sam. It's what happened here. They hit us before we knew it. We cannot let it happen again. And this is the guy that did some soul searching. I guarantee you, even though I thought he played good in game 1, I guarantee you he took some guys to task and has got to be pleased with how the Lakers responded.
It's Sean Rooks with the floating hook shot over McIlvain. 85-61 Los Angeles. And Seattle embarrassed on their home floor tonight. And the series appears to be tied at 1 apiece. Kersey with the left-hand lane.
Yeah, if they're not embarrassed, then they ought to be embarrassed for not being embarrassed. I'm serious. You don't let teams come in. Playoff basketball, you don't let people come beat you on the home court without coming back playing with some real intensity in game 3.
John Barry is in the game. Rooks has it, the former Maverick and Minnesota Timberwolves. And a shot by Kersey.
The Bulls will do it. Guarantee you they'll play with greater intensity. The Sonics have to do the same thing.
Well, that is the big story in the NBA tonight. Chicago losing at home to Charlotte. That'll be covered in Inside the NBA. Here, it's all Los Angeles. Tonight has turned in some fantastic individual athletic plays.
Well, he's made some plays. Here's the finish that Shaquille jumped out of the way of. He was just huge. Here gets a rebound over Greg Anthony. It is able to get the finish. Robert Ory got some blocks, was active. Derek Fisher controlled tempo early. Corey Blanc came off the bench, was really solid. Ben Baker also doing a little self-checking as to what needs to be done next. Struggled very much offensively, hadn't been able to go. But the Lakers have to be pleased to come on the road, get the Sonics. Remember, the Sonics won it, the regular series, 3-1. And they only won the last game of the series to get there. So this has to be huge for their confidence.
Wingate working on Barry outside to Kersey. Jones defending. Shot is a stray. Rebound by Aaron Williams. Just checks in.
Got to shoot it.
Williams fires. Rebound by Mario Bennett. He's fouled trying to come out of the pack.
Same introspection.
The home court here in Seattle has been good in fact, it's been great in the regular season. But for playoff basketball, you would think they'd win more than just 69% of their home playoff games.
I don't know if it's necessarily a real explanation, but you can see over the years how the Lakers and Sonics have matched up. Take a look at that going back to 78, first round of 95 with the Lakers 3-1 then. Of course, the Lakers last year lost in the semifinals to the Utah Jazz. When Kobe Bryant, as I see it, did some growing. I mean, he still has some growing to do, but he did a lot of growing when he shot those air balls, though he didn't play tonight.
Rebound Kersey on the Williams miss. Rooks was inside defending, and a foul. And for George Karl, this is a painful loss. The team will fly to Los Angeles, I believe, tonight along with the Lakers. And they will practice tomorrow and play Game 3 in the Forum on Friday night right after Chicago-Charlotte. A reminder to stick around after the game for Inside the NBA. Vince Ciullini joined by Timberwolves head coach Flip Saunders. Highlights from Charlotte beating Chicago. We'll also get an interview with Tim Duncan in there. It's all coming up next. With Virtual Vince on Inside the NBA. Plus, D. Lynam sits down with NBA Rookie of the Year, Tim Duncan.
It'll be a delightful interview. Guy has a great sense of who he is and a good feeling about basketball. I'm sure most of you know Tim Duncan was a swimmer before he started playing basketball and just picked it up at the age of 13.
Fisher drives. Shot was blocked. 24-second shot clock violation. Now, Dale Ellis will inbound the ball, and I would imagine they're trying to let him locate his stroke heading into Game 3.
Well, it was a little bit of that, but as much as anything, you didn't want McIlvain, who was in the lineup. You don't need McIlvain getting hurt. And Dale has just got this is a chance for him to look for a shot, but he won't get it unless somebody penetrates and kicks to him.
Right, Anthony, and here comes Williams. He drives and fouled. Here's Aaron Williams.
Yeah, they're looking at a possible playoff low. Their low was 70 against Houston in '82. They have 65 with 1:24 to go. But whether or not it's a playoff scoring low, it's an emotional low for this group sitting on the bench, no doubt.
It's hard to figure out the team after playing so well game one and seemingly capturing a mental edge in their 5-game hard-fought win over Minnesota. And in fact, that's what Los Angeles kind of attributed their doldrums in the first round. They had been off first game round. They had been off for 3 days. They didn't feel as sharp. The passion wasn't there. But tonight, the tables have been turned. Lakers have shown everything the Sonics showed in game one. Jones collides while airborne with both Kersey and Williams. And a foul called on Jerome Kersey.
Well, it may have been a playoff sharp Sonics team coming off a tough 5-game series with the Timberwolves, and a team that just had some time off, and though you compete against each other in an effort not to hurt. Del Harris is a coach that's been around a long time. He's not going to get his guys hurt by going overly strenuously on the time off. They had some time off. Matter of fact, they sat and watched the game on Saturday with the Timberwolves and that the Sonics played. So they may not have been ready for that game, but they got a split, and that's all you really want.
Yeah, they come out of this feeling very good. Rooks swats it away. Shaquille O'Neal tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers finished with 26 points, handful of rebounds, and 4 block shots.
Yeah, and he kept Gary Payton from going in the paint. Every time Gary thought he had a chance in the paint, Shaquille got to him.
Anthony the Fan picked up by Bennett. Under a minute to play here in Seattle. And we will move to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood for Game 3 Friday. That place will be rocking. Here's Rooks. Sean Rooks with a nice shot. Rooks does not see a lot of time.
No, he may play very few minutes in the game because they already got big people, including Corey Blunt, that get in there. I looked over at the bench. The bench was standing up cheering when Sean made his shot.
A difference of 4 seconds. Shot clock and game clock. John Barry in the game. And nice shot off the rim by Barry. Had time to fire. Wingate the other way in the final seconds, and a foul called on Derek Fisher.
Well, that was an accident. I guarantee you Derek Fisher didn't mean to do that.
Well, he's trying to get out of the way, and he couldn't spin away enough.
They got ball fake and just he went the wrong way for it.
If there's anything which has drawn the ire of owner Barry Ackerley about his coach, George Karl, and this has been an ongoing story throughout the season. He becomes a free agent coach at the end of the year. Despite the winning seasons and the core championship banners from the Pacific Division title, it's that they do things like this, and they don't have any rings for all the success they've enjoyed in the regular season.
I think it's more lack of rings than it is anything else.
Well, tonight, a playoff low in scoring, 68 points for Seattle. Los Angeles did about everything right, and they win at 92-68.